Hello. Can everyone hear me okay? I hope I'm on live. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. How is everyone doing this morning? I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to come on and join us for our Wednesday Wisdom. Let me know that you can hear us. We have a lot of great things I want to talk about today. I don't know if you've caught any of my morning Instagrams. I've been sharing our garden with everyone. Let's bring Alicia on.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? You look like you've got some sun.
I did a little bit. I don't have anything on right now. Just came out of the shower, so what we're talking about today is perfect for this right now.
Yes, yes, yes. Let me bring this up a little bit. Perfect. So
I
you
did
got
get a lot of sun. Jeez, I'm just looking at that now.
You look like
Maybe
you're
I'm blushing.
glowing.
I don't know.
We've got Alicia here on Instagram Live. I'm over here on the computer doing live with Facebook. I hope everyone on Facebook can hear Alicia over on Instagram. If not, we're going to be hopefully sharing this stream. Actually, while I have you,
Trying to get a good spot. What are you saying? While you have me what?
welcome everyone. I just wanted to get our live feed recorded. Hopefully it works this time.
I know.
I want to welcome everyone to Wednesday Wisdom. We are here with Alicia Tardugno up in Boston. My name is Danielle Werner, coming in from Orlando. And we're hanging out here on Live Wonderful every Wednesday. We want to come to you and just bring you a dose of creative inspiration. I think everyone needs that right now, that's for sure. So we have a mission here at Live Wonderful, and it is very, very simple. We really do believe that, everyone has a story to tell, and we want to help you bring it to life. So we believe that visual storytelling, aka photography, is the easiest and most powerful creative key that we all have access to, because we can just instantly enjoy coming into the present moment, right? So that's what it means to live wonderful. And we want to come to you every Wednesday and just say hello, see how everyone's doing, and give you one word, possibly some quotes. I know none of these are planned, by the way. Alicia and I just enjoy talking about life and photography. And so we want anyone to join in on the conversation. Feel free to comment. I've got Facebook and Instagram up here. Let us know if you have any thoughts as we go through this. But each week we want to bring you at least one word, and I'll just give you a sneak peek. These are all the words I've come up with so far. Oh,
Still upside down.
I've been coming up with. So our goal is to make you guys feel like these words do two things, if not more. But one, we want you to be able to bring them into your life and use them as anchors to help you learn how to live wonderful every day. So they're going to seem really simple and kind of obvious at first, but what we like to do in these conversations is just like get down and dirty, get honest, get deep with it, and really like figure out, what does that mean? What do these words mean to us, and how can we use them in our lives to feel whole, feel present, feel good about the moments we're dealing with, especially now, right? So our word today, Alicia, you want to share the word that we have going on for today?
Sure. Allowing.
Allow. Who uses that word often? I don't.
No, when you said it to me this morning, I was like, that's why I said actually, because I was like, I wouldn't have thought of that, you know? Like,
It's not, the word allow is not a word that, not only does it not come up for me as much as it should, but I definitely feel the opposite most of the
I bet
time.
you moms use the word allow a lot more than we do.
Yeah. And come on, we can point out the obvious for a minute, like allowing things to just happen as they are, fine. But what immediately happens? Let me just say hello to everyone who's coming on here
Hi,
now. Hi guys.
everyone. Thanks for
um,
joining us.
yeah, thank you for joining us. The the
Hi,
the
Isabel.
word allow is like I literally immediately want to argue with it
Oh,
because,
yeah.
and this is
Every
like
day.
feels, yeah, and it feels like a positive thing and a negative thing. Like part of me is like, no, don't allow that to happen. You should have control and you should just be pushing through and you should fight anything that's not on your path and don't allow anything to happen that you didn't expect to happen, right?
Yes.
And then I also go, like, that's a good thing. Maybe not allowing things to happen feels like the right way to go most of the time, but this word is so important for me. It has been an anchor for me specifically because it's not natural for me to think of the word, right? Like the word we used last week was self-awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we can all relate to self-awareness. And if we're enjoying these conversations, we all know that that's something we pay attention to as often as we can. But this word, I don't know. I don't know about you, but the word allow just it doesn't always sit well with me. And it as soon as I realize that I'm not allowing things to unfold, allowing things to be as they are, I immediately feel that resistance. I want to argue with myself. I want to fight and defend some idea. And now what I'm realizing is that's really the moment that I need to allow, like to
Oh, yeah.
happen. Like just be aware of that. You're not allowing something to be as it is. And then it hits me. I'm like, oh, that's the word.
Sometimes when we don't allow things to just be
Hi,
instead of
Bonnie.
controlling it, instead of controlling things, like we're not allowing certain blessings to come into our life, or we're not allowing things to just happen the way they're supposed to happen. But I fight that every day like you, because I want to be in control. I want to, I
Yeah,
don't
you
know,
want to
it's
feel like you've
hard.
got this momentum and this drive. So if something like gets in the way or feels like an obstacle, then you want to push through it. And it's such a challenge to like when do you allow something to happen versus um, pushing through or like not if you don't have respect for something, right? If you're the type of person who's like, I stand my ground, this is what I believe and don't believe, then you're not allowing those other stories to even show up for you, right? You're just like, no, I don't see that, I don't believe that. Well, what happens then? We know they're out there. We know those opposites are out there. So if we don't allow them to be, we're always going to be in opposition of something, right? We're always going to be fighting something.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, everyone, thanks for joining us. Um, so I just thought this was such a perfect word. And as usual, we're like, not, we don't overplan these. That is the point of this. I want this to feel like it's just coming out of us naturally. And anyone who's enjoying these conversations, if they have thoughts and want to jump in, I love that because
Yes,
I
please. What
think,
does the word allow mean to all of you? You know, we want to
yeah,
know.
what are you allowing in your life that feels like a good thing that maybe you weren't allowing before? Or what is something you can reflect on where you do want to allow it into your life? I
You know
think
what's
for
funny is I think as we get older too, you start to realize what you will allow and what you will not allow in your life, especially when it comes to energy, um, good people around you. Like you just
yes,
start to learn what you're gonna allow. People,
yes,
energy, everything. And I think that helps with that momentum of
yes,
allowing that good energy, that good feelings all around to kind of keep that positive momentum, that
Yes.
the blessings to keep coming in. And that's a hard thing, because you want to control them, but there is a way to allow and there is a way to not allow. So
I wrote down this morning, allowing reminds me to listen. Because when we are constant, like as a creative person who, for us, it's like we're on this mission, right? Like I have so many things I want to share. I mean, Alicia freaks out when she reads some of my 20-page blog posts that we need to cut up into individual.
I don't freak out. I'm just like, okay, I can do this.
There's so much. I'm constantly on the go and wanting to bring all this together. And same goes for life. I'm doing my garden right now. If anyone saw our past Instagram stories, my yoga studio is opening back up. I'm super excited about that. I'm diving into cooking. There's all these things that I'm like, I want these things in my life. And so I'm pulling them in. I'm building this routine. But when we do that, when we're like putting all this control in it, even if it feels good, I have to play that devil's advocate and go, okay, but if I have too strict of a routine, if I am too conformed and too focused on what has to be, then I'm not allowing the magic of the moment to just unfold. I'm not allowing myself to listen and build self-awareness. That was last week's word. By just being still, by allowing something to be. And I think the word allow, if we're going to use this as an anchor for our week, and the idea of these Wednesday wisdoms is to feel like, okay, we're getting through that hump, right? Like let's get through the rest of our week by giving ourselves a chance to reflect. And then also, what's something new I can use to anchor into my life, right? Like this word, allow. If we're going to use it for the next few days, I bet you it comes up for you more in a moment when you're not allowing. It's when we hit those moments of frustration or life isn't going well, that's when we need these anchors. When life is grand and dandy, like we don't give a shit. We're just like, cool, I don't need to learn. I don't need to grow. I'm good. I'm at my peace point, right?
I mean, just me messaging you this morning, you were telling me to just allow it to be, like, just go through those motions and the feelings and allowing whatever distractions, like just allow it and then refocus your energy. But
yes.
I mean, I needed it. I needed this.
I know. The idea of allowing, if it doesn't show up for you and you reflect back on your day and hey, Trevor, and you reflect back on your day and you see these moments of like, oh, I had, like every day, Jim and I have these moments where we're like, okay, how's your morning? Like, let's reflect. Let's use each other to bounce ideas off of, okay? Let's be there in this moment. So it's like, how was your morning? And he takes a minute to go, wow, I actually had a busy morning. A little tough, but it's that moment of processing, right? So if you come to the end of your day and you're like, oh my God, this was stressful, or I had, shit day, or whatever it was, where were those moments that you didn't allow, that you didn't just take a breath and sit back and go, like this morning, we don't have to get into the details, but Alicia, you gave me this huge rundown of everything that was going through your mind in that moment. And in that moment that you were putting it together, you were feeling like it was all happening at once at you. But the truth is, in that moment, you were just absorbing it and processing it, right?
Yeah.
So in that moment of going, oh my God, all this stuff is coming at me. I don't know what to do with it. And it can be as simple as your kids screaming and not listening, or your internet not working. And you're like, hello, I have to get on a live stream. It could be something you can control, and maybe it's something you can't. But as soon as we can go, I feel tense, or this isn't working for me, the next step should be, okay, allow, accept. Accept is another word. Like, how do we just sit back, be still, and listen to everything that's going on around us before we react?
What's funny? I think when we wake up too, I think we have this this plan in our heads, or you make a list and you think you're going to get it all done, and you have this and then some distraction happens or another one, and then you're like, oh, like I just completely got just derailed from everything that I was planning to do. How do I allow it and be okay that my day just got flipped upside down, like,
Yeah.
and I get back on track? And
Yeah.
I think
Like
that's
literally
my daily, I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but it's my daily, you know, what happens in my life.
process.
Yeah,
Yes.
process.
It is, I know these words will come up again as their own topic, but we've talked about this time and time again. It's the difference between balance and harmony.
Mm.
So balance, if we think of a tightrope walker, this is the example I love. And I think like Tony Robbins or someone like that, he didn't say it, but someone like him said it. If you think of balance as like work-life balance, okay? You got your list. Balance to you would be everything got done in the exact time I wanted to do it, and I went to bed peaceful. Yeah, freaking right. Never happens. So you're never actually in balance, except when those moments where you're like, oh, I'm in balance. But the truth is, you're not. What you're doing is you're going through an ebb and flow. And somewhere in between, you hit this moment of grace. You hit this harmony where it all seems to be peaceful. Whatever's going on, there's still chaos
I
going
love
on
those
out there.
feelings. I love those days.
Yes, yes. But you know that you've allowed that to be. As soon as we go through that list and we're like, we got to hammer this out. We got to be on point. We got to balance everything perfectly. The tightrope walker never is balanced on the tightrope. Everyone thinks a tightrope walker has this difficult job. Yeah, I knew you were going to do it. This difficult job of like walking one foot in front of the other on this skinny little rope. But what we always forget is when you're looking down, when you're looking up at him from below, he's holding this massive pole that is almost as long as the rope he's walking on. It's huge. It's like 20 or 30 feet long. And what is he doing with that rope? He's using every inch of his ability and space and his power to be as wide and pulling in both directions. And he's going like this. And he's ebbing and flowing as he walks across that tight. He's moving forward. And there are moments when he goes and one foot goes, whoa, 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 and the other foot goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. But he's still moving forward and accepting the ebbs and flows and just allowing his body to feel the changes. He's never perfectly balanced. Our life is never going to be perfectly balanced. If it is, you're not growing, you're not changing, you're bored, and you're not balanced. So that idea of harmony kind of comes up as a positive version of, hey, I'm just going to allow this to be as it is. And I mean, I feel like I've got to like say this before we end. You know, Alicia and I we love getting on here and love having people join in. But for us, it's like we started doing these as soon as the pandemic started, and it had one goal. I want to connect. I want to feel like we have a place to connect, as much as no one's connecting really right now. And here we are months later, and it still has that organic, like, let's just see where everyone is. Let's see how everyone's doing. It's morphed into these Wednesday Wisdoms, which I love, once a week.
Me too.
But it stemmed from a simple idea, guys. It stemmed from this, another word I wrote down is the feeling of fear. So I had all this fear around getting on live or getting in front of the camera, or all this fear around being able to do the technology side, which we have screwed up plenty of times.
And we had to allow that.
We had to allow that to happen, and all those fears to come up with it, and all that uncomfortability to be able to move through it, to now sit here and be like, cool, I got it. Like, this is happening. We're good. But 2 or 3 months ago, no, this was not, this didn't feel balanced. This didn't feel like we got it. No, it felt like this constant, like, struggle, or I felt like a robot. Like, I didn't feel good and natural about it. But allowing all of those, whatever you want to call them, mistakes, lessons, moments of screw ups, allowing them to happen is really a huge first step to self-awareness. And, you know, guys, we talk about this because we love photography, and this is that gap we're bridging, okay? This is that connection to life and creativity, and what does it mean to be happy or be fulfilled. To live wonderful is to be in the moment always. So
Right.
good and bad is going to come and go. How can we still come back and go, I can feel good. I can allow even all this craziness that's going on there. I can allow myself to feel it all and still live wonderful, even in those moments where I know later, literally, this is going to happen to me today. I'm going to be like, shit. And now I just need to allow this to happen. I can hear myself from, you know, I'm going to get frustrated and mad at myself for already, you know, knowing that's what I need to do.
We always have to like give ourselves our own advice. You know, it's very hard to
Yes.
do. You have to allow that as well. That's very hard to be self-aware of giving yourself your own advice that you give to others.
I think it's the number one reason why I'm finally feeling comfortable and enjoying these so much is because this is for me, guys. Like, I made this company for me, for her, for like you guys are a bonus because you all want to hang out with us, and I love it because who doesn't love photography, right? And just trying to be creative or wanting to feel that creative flow. That's really what we're diving into. But this is powerful stuff because we're feeling it for real. Like, we don't script any of this. And so I've got a list of words, and hey, anybody who's out there, if you have words or quotes or something that has happened, a story that just like hits you and you're like, damn, this is a moment of learning, right? This is an experience. Share it with us. I've got my list, okay? I won't go through them all, but you'll get a little stand there, okay?
Totally backwards and upside down still, but we're good.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just proving to you I do work around here, okay?
No, but I love that we brought this word up today. I mean, it helps everything we talked about on Wednesday, wisdoms, you know, like it, I hope it helps everyone too.
I do too.
And allowing yourself to just be silent and listen sometimes and hear what's happening and be still. That's huge too.
And listening to what's going on out there, okay? We're all human. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. We're all going through a lot of stuff right now. But something, and that's obvious, but something that's not obvious is that everything that's going on out there, meaning outside of your own body and mind, everything, even the screen that's right in front of me, everything that's going on out there is secondary. Mm-hmm. And it does not need to be in your story unless you allow it. So if you are mixed up and this aren't working together, know that everything that's coming to you from out there is not going to come through clearly, right? Like, we have to be centered here before we can accept and really be able to process anything that's going on out there. So allow those feelings to come up, good and bad. Allow that day to not go so perfectly. And as soon as, watch how quickly you jump back on those tracks. Watch how quickly you can change your own mood and mindset.
I want to add something to this allowing too. For the longest time, I've felt like I wanted to pick up my hobbies again, like painting or drawing, or, you know, like obviously photography is our hobby and our passion and profession right now, but just other things. And I feel as if I haven't jumped back into them, and just knowing that like kind of puts a weight on my shoulder. I'm like, why don't you draw? Why don't you paint anymore? Why don't, like, I've had to allow myself to be okay that I just haven't had the time, and I'm my life is at a different point. So even in that category of allowing yourself to be okay that you can't get to everything, you can't do everything, you can't see everybody, you can't satisfy everyone or even yourself. So I think that's been a hard lesson to acknowledge.
Not judging. Not judging. Get rid of all this self-judgment. All that, like, literally every time we do that, which is human, okay? It's not going to go away just because I said it is. Like, it's going to happen every day. But every time we allow it to go too far, when we cycle into that judgment in our own heads, we're just wasting time.
Yeah.
We are completely wasting our time. Like, and this is a challenge for me sometimes because I'm super empathetic. Like, I can physically feel other people's emotions. But I used to think that meant I needed to take them on to help that person. And by allowing them to just be and not absorb them, but just observe them, I can be more of myself, and I can still empathize without getting into that darkness, or that I can uphold them, right?
Absolutely.
So like I will tell myself, you're judging, like, why are you wrapping your head around all this negative shit? Jim will look at me sometimes like, you done? You done with your spiral? And I used to be so offended by that.
It does feel like a spiral. It feels like a spiral.
Yeah, but because we go looking for something to attach to all of that, things that we're not allowing. Like, well, this didn't work, and neither did this, and neither did this, and life just sucks. Because look at my life, it's awful. And like, I'm not going to tell everyone to be grateful right now, because we all know that's a given. All I'm going to say is, as soon as we can go, oh yeah, I feel like shit right now, and allow that to be, we will get through that shitty mood much, much quicker than if we constantly remind ourselves of it, right? So yeah, the judgment of not being able to get to things, or, promising, something I did with our friend Anna this week is I told her, if you want to make changes in your life, I've had to do this because I judge myself constantly, and I don't think I'm good enough. Everybody can relate to that. If you want to feel like you're building progress, or you're moving forward, make it easy for yourself. Make the steps simple. Like, she wanted our yoga studio open back up, and she's like, God, I haven't done yoga in 3 months. And she immediately wanted to feel bad about herself. And I went, are you done? Guess what? All you have to do in yoga class is sit there and breathe. Can you do that? Come to yoga with me. Yeah. Nobody asked, and she came, but she didn't feel like she had to like be her best self. And I know yoga does that for us too, but in anything, right? If you're going to pick up a paintbrush, don't force it to be this, okay, let me go get a big canvas and pick the perfect picture. It's like, go get a little tiny thing of watercolors and a tiny brush and doodle.
Start small.
Start small.
You told me that, what was it, a couple weeks ago? Like, set yourselves little tiny goals every day.
Set yourself up for success, right? Yes. So that, and getting back to this word allow, it's like, if you're going to set yourself up for success and your expectations aren't too high, you'll be allowing more things to come into play to add to that success, right? If you force this expectation way up here, that growth that can happen in between, you're not really allowing it to unfold and happen naturally. So it's got to work into your everyday life when you bring in more creativity, and doodle, make it easy for yourself. I think you brought that up because it's still there for you, and it could, you could get into your
I think that it would probably, for myself, and I'm sure it works for everybody else too, it will open up certain creative parts of my brain too.
Absolutely.
Kind of like getting on a bike again. Everybody knows how to do it. You just kind of have to go through the motion slowly again.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will.
Right. I need to set aside time to do that, but allowing to let the daily life, tasks take over sometimes, whether it's walking your dog or doing something for your family, or, anything that happens, or you get a phone call from something random and it's like 2 hours out of your day, like allowing that to be, and being grateful for that connection, or,
yeah, I was just, the word that came up when you said that was opportunity. Like there are, and, when you envision or you want something, and this plays into photography too, which we'll get into on our Friday photo tips, guys.
I'm excited to talk about allowing in photography.
Yeah, for sure. But when you do allow something to happen that you didn't expect, I can't tell you how many times that has given me a far bigger opportunity than the one that I had already envisioned happening in my life. Even as simple as you brought up phone call, as simple as allowing a conversation to happen that you don't think you have time for, like that is huge. And when I have my private lessons, or I'm one-on-one with a portrait client, and or even a business, like you think about how honest and raw we have to get when we're photographing someone's story, whether it's a company or a person and their family. I'm constantly having to allow conversations to just happen. And I don't always know where they're going to lead, but I know one thing: by allowing that conversation to unfold, that person is becoming more comfortable. That person is falling into their own natural self. So even just this morning after yoga, we happened to be the last 2 people in there, and I was in this whole like weird high of being too hot and breathing too much, and like, you want to get a good like natural high, go to Orlando Palace.
Hi, friend.
Hi guys.
Congrats on the baby.
Oh, new human in the world. I love it.
Yay.
But right after class, I'm thinking, oh, I laid there in Shavasana for too long, and I immediately wanted to like get up and go. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get my day going, right? And I look around, and no one else is in the room. They've all left except the instructor and Anna. And Anna hadn't been to class in a while, and she was exhausted, and she's
Was
like
she
getting
just
up.
laying there?
Yeah, she was like, I can't breathe. Like you know how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So I will be
Well,
honest.
you know me. It's hard for me to lay there next to you sometimes. Like, I'm just like, all right, I'm done. I don't know what to
let's
do.
go.
Like,
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
My first thought was, get out of here quickly, or you're going to get caught up in conversation. You're going to lose track of time, because we could do that there. And then Alex, as I was thinking that, the instructor goes, girls, how was it? Did you enjoy it? Like, she just came at us with this huge welcome, open, joyful, happy smile, came into the room, and you can't help but be like, yeah, that was great. Like, you have to start the conversation, right? I am not joking. Within 3 seconds, she brought something up that reminded me of Anna has been giving me a skincare routine. I've been diving into another thing, is like help fixing my skin for the summer. And Alex goes, your skin looks great. I went, and I pointed to Anna. I go, that's my skin doctor. And I tell you, believe me or not, I left there 10 minutes later, and the 2 of them were still talking. And I know that she's going to book an appointment with Anna, and Anna now has another new client for her. She's opening her own new business now. She's been doing it on the side. She's got a studio now. She's opening her own skincare line. So
it really pays off to
allow
those conversations and that energy to be open to that energy, and allowing those connections to happen.
Every single one.
I know that is where I've been successful with, in just creating connection with people and business opportunity, any kind of opportunities. But you know who you're gonna allow in, you know the connections that you'll allow to move forward with. And I think that's a cool instance of you guys doing that. That's really cool.
So guys, I just want to wrap up here and share some updates we have. But before I do, like, use this word, okay? Like, this helps us. We do this for ourselves. I just said that, but I'm gonna say it again. Like, we're being selfish when I say this. Alicia and I need this. We do this for ourselves, but we want you to take it with you. Like, what does the word allow mean for you? What can it do for you? How can you use it right now? What's going on in your life? And then use it as an anchor throughout the day, throughout the rest of your week. When you hit that moment of resistance, of moodiness, of things didn't go your way, try and let this word, allow to just be there for a minute, and allow your feelings to come up, allow all the crap that's happening to just happen, and sit with it. It sucks sometimes, but this word has helped me so much, and I'm glad I got a reminder today in this conversation.
It's helped me a lot too, especially lately.
So we're going to be coming to you live again this Friday. Not here on social media. Believe it or not, we'd like you guys to get off the screens and get away from social media. So if you're out there creating or having fun or taking a lunch break, use your phone for another reason. Turn on your camera and go take some pictures, have some fun. If you want to dive into photography more, this Friday, you can join us. The link is livewonderful.clickmeeting.com. Alicia's going to put it in there now. I'll put it in our Facebook too. What we're doing is if I could talk and type at the same time, I would. Hold on. Okay.
livewonderful.clickmeeting.com, right?
Yes, livewonderful.clickmeeting.com. What we're doing is Wednesdays we'll be here. Fridays we want to take this word and translate it into visual storytelling. So what does it mean to allow your story to happen? When you're out there shooting, it could be with your cell phone, a DSLR, mirrorless, whatever you love to shoot.
I love it, Erin.
Thanks, Erin.
From Lynn University, by the way.
Erin from Lynn University.
Erin Barnes.
Erin, I went to Lynn University.
I know. I can't believe it. I don't know if you guys ever met. You would think you would have.
In that tiny school. So Friday, we're going to use this word, and I know Alicia's got a lot of fun moments, but as photographers, no matter what kind of photography you're into, we want this word to be able to help you become a better photographer instantly. And I mean that, okay? So my experience comes from travel and portraits. Alicia has dived into portraits, events, real estate. We're both working with a lot of brands. But this word is huge for any kind of story you are trying to capture, any kind of picture. We can never, ever actually create that vision that we want in a photo without allowing the story to kind of happen in front of us and really become aware of how we can make it better as we're shooting. So check out the link, join us. It's a webinar, it's totally free. We'll be on there Friday. If you guys are local here in Orlando, I'm super excited because we're finally getting back to our tours. I can go out and be free and have fun again. So Floridans, you will see us at Lake Eola this Saturday, 6:30 to 8:30, 9-ish. It is the Sunset and Night Photography Tour. We have a ball. Like, it is by far one of my favorite tours. Because I love watching the sun set over the city and then getting night shots of the city skyline too. Plus you've got the fountain in the lake. If you've ever been to Lake Eola, you know how beautiful it is. So join us there this Saturday. And then next week, we're going to be doing some more online classes, which is great. So all that stuff you can find at livewonderful.com/tours. That's where you'll find our photo tours. And next week, I have no idea what word we're going to talk about. So if you guys have a word in mind, or a word, whether you like the word or it bothers you or it's a new word, something that we can use to bring some Wednesday wisdom, some light into your life, let us know. Like I said, I got a bunch. We'll find one.
We got plenty of Wednesdays.
We got plenty of Wednesdays coming up.
And you now can talk, that's for sure. No, but yeah, definitely join in on all of our other photography stuff and link up with us there, because it will open your world up.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun on the photo storytelling side. So we'll see you guys here next week. Have a wonderful rest of your week, a great weekend, and we love you. Live wonderful. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.